Dean, I'm Brooke Wright.
Brooke, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great. That's great to hear. Well, I thank you for taking the time for meeting with me today. I know we've met with both Riley and David, so thank you for sending them first off and filling in, but glad we're able to meet now.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you could make it down. And they gave me some great feedback on y'all's initial meetings, and you know, I'm interested in what you guys presented. So thanks for coming to Houston.
Yeah, of course. I did want to know, I'm going to take notes today, but I am listening, just want to let you know about that.
Okay.
So I am curious, how much did Riley and David relate to you about the property?
Well, so I'm pretty familiar with A&M since I went to school there.
Yes.
Of course, that was a long time ago. Things have changed. It looks like there's a lot going on in College Station. You know, they pointed out that it's a great intersection south of town, and that there's a lot of potential, good piece of real estate, and you know, so it's kind of intrigued me.
Good.
So I don't know if did you get my text? I sent a text that saying, you know, there's another piece of property when I started looking at it online that was up the street next to the Costco. Were you able to did you get that?
Yes, I did get that text. We can definitely discuss that. I was actually I did want to be respectful of your time since we do have 20 minutes today, so I did want to have an agenda just to make sure we're on the same page. So the first thing I want to do, Dean, is since this is our first time meeting, learn a little bit more about you and NewQuest, and then also discuss the property and some potential uses originally off of Highway 6 and William D. Fitch Parkway, and we can also discuss that property next to Costco as well. And then if you're interested, we can discuss the next steps from there. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
You know, in the real estate business, we always like talking about ourselves and our properties, so shoot, whatever you want to know.
Okay, excellent. Sounds great. And Dean, I know that you are a partner with NewQuest, so I'm assuming you have a lot of say in the decisions for the company. So if you are interested in moving forward with the property in terms of development, what does your specific decision process look like?
So I've got 3 other partners, and we're all pretty much equal decision makers.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's a board. It's more, you know, it's a meeting. What we'll do is, you know, we need to get as much information as we can about the site, and then we'll start looking at any of the entitlements or any of the issues that the site could potentially have. We'll do a void analysis and start understanding what the uses could be for the property and the potential for the property. And then from that standpoint, try and see if we can make some money on it.
Excellent. Sounds great. So thank you for sharing that information. Dean, I know that you obviously are wanting to enter that College Station market. Obviously, you were an Aggie. I was an Aggie myself. I graduated in the class of 21. And I know that your daughter also goes to Texas A&M as well. So
that's awesome.
Does that Aggie spirit run through Texas A&M?
Well, so far I'm starting to bleed it down a little bit since I only have 2 girls. The other one's, I don't know if she's going to get here, but I hope.
Okay. So you're hoping she comes here as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I love this school.
Yeah, Texas A&M is a great school. I definitely know that I enjoyed my time as well.
Yeah.
But Dean, so like I said, you do want to be in the College Station area. So I am curious, what type of project would you like to do in that area?
You know, to my knowledge, so, you know, looking at the 2 pieces of property, I think there's certainly some benefits and some, you know, some negative attributes. And so I'd like to get your opinion on that. But, you know, we build retail, and we're starting to build some apartments. So we, you know, go with the you know, the new cliche is, you know, work, play, and you know, if you really get in that arena, it looks like there's good neighborhoods in the area. So work, play, shop kind of works. And so, you know, tell me a little bit about that, what you know about the neighborhoods. Tell me a little bit about the intersection. All those are going to be important for us to make a decision.
Perfect. I'd love to tell you about it. So the first thing with the neighborhoods is it is going to be, the land is right behind the neighborhood called Pebble Creek.
Okay.
There's going to be 55,000 homes within the 10-mile radius of this land. So you have plenty of residents to appeal to, which is really great. In terms of traffic, again, you have that Highway 6 road access. So a lot of frontage visibility right there. I know that.
You know how many cars per day, or?
Yeah, there's actually 37 cars per day specific on that highway.
Okay.
I know that NewQuest also has development on Highway 6 in Fort Bend, so it's nice to always have 2 developments on one highway. In terms of traffic counts for that specific intersection, it is the largest intersection in the South College Station area, so that's going to sit at 20,000 cars per day.
Oh, wow.
So again, a lot of people coming through, as well as the permanent residents that live there. So that's ultimately who we're targeting with this future retail development.
Okay.
So I know you mentioned neighborhoods and then traffic counts as well. Another benefit for this specific land is going to be the utilities are included.
Okay.
There is
That's
nearby,
good.
yeah, it is great. There are nearby utilities, or nearby developments, so ultimately they pay for these utilities. So
Okay.
you're saving costs for Newquest. You're not having to have water pipelines, electricity lines, or even a traffic light, since that's all already developed.
That's
so
great.
huge save of cost on your end.
So what are your opinions, looking at the Costco, I'm kind of interested down there because there's going to be a lot of sales created by the Costco store. So that has my interest, and do you know much about that property, or what do you think about the two?
Yeah, I mean, I do know about it, but what I'm actually really curious about is to know what you know about it and why you're so interested in that Costco
Well,
property.
our business is generated on sales, and so for me to have an anchor that, is already built in, it's going to create the sales that I don't have. So if I don't have to go get a Costco or get a Kroger or get a Lowe's, a Lowe's already there, a Home Depot. So I'm going to need to bring an anchor to the property. Costco's already there, so maybe I just buy the land next to Costco. What do you think?
I mean, I think there's pros and cons with it. I would say pro, like it is 28 acres, so it is a big size land. Con is there are going to be more restrictions since there already is a Costco.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately what matters is like, what do you want out of the development? That's really what we need to uncover. I know you mentioned you want the neighborhoods and the traffic counts. And ultimately, I wanted to discuss the retail tenant since I know that's where your expertise comes from. So again, what kind of development would you like to see if you were to develop in College Station?
Just looking at what I viewed, at what you sent and gave to my guys, was an aerial that kind of showed the intersection. So it looks like, and I don't know, most grocery stores don't compete well with H-E-B, so I don't know if we could put a second grocery store there.
I agree.
There's probably a health club or maybe a sporting goods. I don't know. Do you know kind of where everybody is in College Station?
Yeah, great question. I actually brought the land layout as well.
Okay.
I know you previously looked at it, but still wanted to reference it as well. So, and towards the sporting goods, it actually is Dick's Sporting Goods on there. I know that you, Dean, were
Good
the
deal.
master broker for Dick's Sporting Goods. So first off, congratulations on that accomplishment. But as well as other, like a Target, some other retail centers, the main goal with this land is to create convenience for the residents.
Great.
As you know, in College Station, it's highly populated with college students, 18 to 24-year-olds, and a lot of times these families aren't wanting to go bring their whole family to shop around college students, and also it's far, and they don't want to travel in that College Station
So this
traffic.
is probably more oriented toward the family, kind of not really the kids.
So it's oriented towards those families because it is right by the neighborhoods. However, with any retail shopping center, it can attract anyone. Since there are quite a bit of traffic counts, 37,000 again specifically, coming through, maybe from the Houston area, from game days. You're getting a lot of people, so it's targeted towards those families specifically for convenience. But again, many people will benefit from the retail development.
That's a good point, really good point. So how do you think, I don't think there's a Dick's Sporting Goods in College Station, so do you think they'd
That's
do
correct.
well here?
Yeah, I think they would do excellent. So
Okay.
the reason why they would do well is because there's actually sporting facilities like baseball fields less than a mile away from this land.
Okay.
So say that your son or daughters, because I know you have 2 daughters, they forgot their socks for their softball game. You can easily run over to Dick's Sporting Goods on your way to the game and easily solve that problem. So again, really creating convenience for those families.
So are there any restrictions that you're aware of on the site?
In terms of like permits,
Use? I mean,
permits
is there
use,
any use restriction that we wouldn't be able to put on that site?
Yeah, so a driving range would have like a specific use permits, but again,
Okay.
nothing that's in the land right now that I'm suggesting is not restricted.
Good.
Typically with alcohol sales, specs could be a problem, but I went ahead and checked that you have to be 1,000 yards away from a school because there is a nearby school in the Pebble Creek neighborhood, but again, that is cleared. I went ahead and did all of that research for you ahead of time, so that's not something you would have to worry about.
Okay. Well, that's good news.
Yeah. So Dean, before we move on to price, I did want to confirm with you before we move on. Based on what we discussed so far, would you agree that this land is meeting your needs in the sense of what you're looking for to develop in College
Well,
Station?
I think it is, but
Okay.
we didn't really talk about price.
Yeah.
How are they pricing it?
Exactly. So the first thing is the price is going to be $11 per square feet.
Okay.
So that sits at $17.2 million for the 36 acres. The great news is you're able to make that up easily in 2 years.
Okay.
So I went ahead and made this sheet for you to reference as well. If you look at that yellow highlighted box, it tells how much you're making, which is ultimately $8.5 billion within the year, or actually each year. So again, able to make that up very easily.
Wow.
In terms of, you're probably asking, well, how'd you get this number? So the first what I did is looked with the nearby developments. What are they charging for their leasing space? Because we do want to be
Good idea.
competitive.
So you've gotten some comparables.
Yes, and then also in terms of square footage, as you know, only a fourth of the land should be leased. So that's how I got that specific square footage, and also looked what store size would need what kind of size, and that's how I kind of place each retail tenant within, yes. So that's where the price came from, as well. You can see the businesses as well. But Dean, I know that was a lot of information, so do you have any questions for me that I can help clarify?
Well, so I don't know much about your company, so tell me a little bit about Reveille.
Yeah, so I work for Reveille Commercial Real Estate for about 2 years now.
Okay.
We are in the College Station area. I've specifically been in the College Station area for 6 years since I went to university and have been here, so have exponential amount of knowledge about the industry in the College Station. So that's really why I know so much about this land, because I wanted to do the research for you ahead of time, because ultimately my goal is to help NewQuest expand the College Station area.
We would have to partner. So I really am, if I'm going to make an offer on the property, I really need to know that you're committed.
Yeah, I am fully committed. Like I said, I wouldn't have put this research in to help you if I wasn't committed to you. Again, went ahead and also researched that 28 acres that you also called me about beforehand, so I could give you the best information as possible.
Perfect. Well, yeah, I think we have an interest, and we would like to get more information.
Excellent.
So
yeah.
I'll start a discussion with my partners, and we'll see where we go.
Excellent. So let's go ahead and schedule a meeting next week. We can actually go to lunch and then also walk both properties to see which one would fit your needs the best. And then we can go forward from there. I have some more information about permits as well, so we can discuss that. But does next week at Wednesday at 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. work best for you?
Well, I'm coming up for the game. Do you work weekends?
I do, of course.
Okay. Well, why won't we just plan that? I'll be up for the Ole Miss game.
We could do that. The Ole Miss is a great game, so I hope you enjoy that game and show your Aggie spirit in that. But thank you for meeting with me today, Dean. I'll go ahead and leave this with you as well to review before our next meeting.
That's awesome.
But I'll send you that follow-up.
Let me give you one of my cards.
Thank you, and I'll send you that follow-up email so you can contact.
Okay.
You have a great day, Dean.
Yeah, thank you for meeting me.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks. I do actually want to keep this. Okay.